Hello crochet friends, welcome back to Crazy Cool Crochet. This is Sylvia, and today I am bringing you some holiday projects, 2 for 1. We've got a holiday headband or holiday ear warmer and the holiday scarf. Now, I'm very deliberately calling it holiday and not Christmas because this goes beyond just Christmas. This is good also for New Year's, for example. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have gone with a yarn that is sparkly. Look at that. Little silver sparkle. And that was so that this is more glitzy, more glam. I'm totally going out of my comfort zone because that's not really me. And as you can see for the headband, I've got some really cute buttons, little glitzy star buttons. And as you can see, I'm using also the pom-poms. So for the scarf, the bottom of the scarf will have a pom-pom on each side. Nice and generous, so trendy. Okay, so for this project, these projects, I should say, I'm going with, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. This one is metallic. I forgot the color, red. Well, there you go. Of course it's red. And it's a number 4. Now, for the scarf, I used 2 skeins, which is, let me see here, 5 ounces. So it took 10 ounces for the scarf. And then for the headband, it took maybe a quarter of a skein. It took very little yarn. And the yardage, it's 252 per skein. We'll need scissors, we'll need a yarn hook, and the crochet hook is a size H or a 5mm. Now for this design, I'm using the Alpine stitch. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, I can't hardly get over it. The Alpine stitch is just so luxurious for this look. Okay, now I am going to use a different color. I'm using a solid like plum or purple because the metallic in this yarn tends to be distracting when I'm trying to show you these stitches. So now for the ear warmer, we will start with a chain of 17. And this was actually rather generous, or maybe I just have a really small head. But when I put this on, it was a tad on the larger side. But really, I'm very tiny, so I'm thinking I have a smaller head. Okay, so 17. Now we're going to do 1 row of single crochet, starting in the second chain from the hook. 1, 2, single crochet in each chain till you get to the end. So you should have 16 single crochets, and I forgot to mention, and I forgot to do, leave a long tail when you do your starting chain. About 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches long. I forgot to do that. And that's going to play in at the end. Now chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to work with the Alpine stitch. Okay, now we're going to lay a foundation of double crochets. So in the second space, double crochet, and in each space across. Okay, so you're working under the 2-strand chain at the top. There's the 2 strands. Whoops. Yarn over. Grab your yarn, 3 loops on the hook. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over. Next space, pull through 2, pull through 2. Do this in each space till you get to the end. At the end of the row, you've got your 2 strands here. Oh, I keep forgetting to yarn over. Double crochet. Now you will have 15 double crochets, 16 if you count the beginning turning chain. Now we need to chain one and turn, and we're going to do a row of single crochet. Starting in the first space. And again, you're working under the 2 strands. Single crochet all the way to the end. Now enter your last single crochet into the turning chain, and that'll be 16. 16 actual worked single crochets. Chain 2 and turn. Now we'll be working with front post double crochets. If you've never done that, don't worry, it's really easy. Okay, now we're going to front post double crochet around that first double crochet below, not the turning chain, but the actual double crochet. So yarn over as if we're a double crochet, insert the hook between the space here into the space behind the double crochet post back to the front of the double crochet post. Grab your yarn, pull through, pull nice and tall, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops for a double crochet. Now do a double crochet into the next space, into the single crochet row. Regular double crochet. Now skip the next post below the double crochet post into the next one, front post double crochet again. Pull over nice and tall, pull through 2, pull through 2, double crochet in the next space of the single crochet row. Now if you turn this around, you will see that we are skipping 1 space. Okay, so as you are working that double crochet into the single crochet row, don't get confused where you're entering your hook. Just know that you're skipping that space behind the double crochet, the front post double crochet that you just created. You're skipping that little space there. Okay, so now again, skip the next double crochet below, and into the next one, insert the hook from the front to the back. Go behind the post. Bring the hook back to the front. Grab your yarn, nice and tall, and do a double crochet. Double crochet in the next space. Skip that next double crochet below. In the next one, insert the hook from the front to the back, behind the post, back to the front, grab the yarn, and do your double crochet. See how that's coming along? Double crochet into the next space of the single crochet row, skip the next post, front post around the next post. Do this to the end. Now in the last 2 spaces, we're going to do a double crochet in each space. You should have 2 spaces left at the end. Double crochet in one, double crochet in the last. You're going under those 2 strands. Chain 1, and then we will turn. But this is what you've got going on. How gorgeous is that? Okay, now we're going to do a row of single crochets. Starting in that first space, and in each space across, so that you end up with 16 single crochets. And again, 2 strands. That's how you know where you're working. You're not going into those big spaces. You're going under those 2 strands. Your last single crochet goes into the turning chain, chain 2 and turn. Okay, now we're going to do the next row of the front post double crochet. Now we are going to be alternating where we enter the front post. Okay, so because we have a front post right here, we're going to enter a double crochet on top of it. Okay, so skip that very first space under the turning chain. Into the next space, enter a regular double crochet. Now yarn over for a double crochet. Now we're going into that post, the double crochet post between the front post below. And we're going to enter a front post double crochet. So go into the space behind the post, around the front, grab your yarn, nice and tall. Finish the double crochet. Now in that next space again of the single crochet row, do a regular double crochet. Now there's the double crochet post below the front post below. So around that double crochet you enter your front post. Then double crochet into the next space. And again, turn this around so you can see where you're working here. So you're skipping that space behind the front post. That's how you know where to enter your double crochet in the single crochet row. Okay, so now front post double crochet around the next double crochet post below. And trust me, once you do a couple of rows of this, it just becomes intuitive. You barely even have to pay attention. Really, honestly. Okay, so there's your double crochet post. Whoops. Double crochet in the next space. There's your double crochet post. Work around it. Double crochet in the next space. Continue across the row. Okay, now you've got your last two spaces again, only this time we're going to do a front post double crochet around that double crochet below. So the one next to the front post, we work a front post. And then in the last space, a regular double crochet. Okay, so you can see hopefully what I mean by alternating your front post. Okay, so you started this first row with the front post, and then the next row you started with a double crochet. Then we're going to do a row of single crochet, and then the next row we will start with a front post again. So let me show you how that works. So at the end of that row, you will chain one and turn. We always have to have a single crochet row between the front post rows. Okay, so now you're going to do your single crochet into each space, just like before. So you end up with 16 single crochets. Then we chain two and turn. Okay, so now over here we've got the double crochet. So we're going to fill it in with the front post. Double crochet in the next space. There's your double crochet between the front posts. So do a front post in there. And that's it. Just follow the pattern. And then continue in this manner to the end. And I will have, of course, the written instructions at crazycoolcrochet.com. So you'll work this little panel for 20 front post rows. Okay, so you're not counting the single crochet rows in between. And you can adjust that as needed. You know, put this around your head after your 20 rows and see if that's going to fit. And you do end with a single crochet row. So we started with a single crochet row, we're going to end on a single crochet row. Okay, now for the headband ear warmer, all you did was attach the two ends, wrong side facing you, and I just used a simple whip stitch. So you just take your yarn needle with the yarn and just go around and around and around, attaching both sides. I like to do 2 strands on each panel or each side. When you get to the end, tie it off, weave through the little tail, weave the tail through that you'll have over here, and you're done. Then attach your embellishments if you choose to. Now I just used a regular needle and thread here. Excuse the lighting. I'm in a new space. I downsized my living situation greatly, so I have no craft room anymore. I'm trying to feel my way around the lighting here, and obviously I kind of messed up with the lighting today. All right, now for the scarf, it's the exact same pattern. Exactly the same. You're going to start with your foundation row of the chain will be, a chain of 29, and then follow the pattern exactly the same as for the ear warmer. Don't forget to leave that long 10-12 inch tail when you do your chain. And do the same at the end. Leave a long tail, and you can adjust the length to whatever you like. So I used 2 skeins to get the length that I wanted. And the length is 54 inches for my scarf. And it's easier to go by inches rather than count all of these rows. So now we are going to gather the bottom so that we can attach the pom-pom. And all we're going to do, and okay, I'm going to fess up, I forgot to leave that long tail. So I had to tie the yarn back in, and I will cut off these stragglers later. Okay, so now into every approximately 6 stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch. So first let's get this yarn on the hook. And I'm going to do a chain to lock it in. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to slip stitch. Let me get this out of the way. Maybe you could see that a little better. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 approximately. Slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slip stitch. And then the last space. Okay, you can see that gathered it up a lot. Perfect. Now turn the work. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch. To close it up. Now I like to do 2 chains to tie it off, pull through, and then squeeze it down. That gives you a nice tight knot. Okay, now we're going to take that leftover tail and we're going to use the yarn needle to close up that hole. So just whatever feels intuitive, just go through a few strands We're just closing up the hole. Now I'm just tying it off here with my 2 chains, squeezing it down. I just made a mess of it. There we go. Whoops. Tie it off. Now the pom-pom I bought has a little tiny elastic, like rubber band. Can you see that? It's really hard to see. Right there. So then all you're going to do is attach it to the end. Let's grab your hook, put it through anywhere basically, bring the yarn through. And tie it. Now if you want, you can bring it through a couple more times just to make sure it's really secure. I'm kind of rushing through a little bit. And there you go. Super cute. And here we are, another crazy cool crochet project in the books. Pretty cute, isn't it? I just love this Alpine stitch. So if you haven't seen the rest of my videos, go down in the white space where it says Crazy Cool Crochet. Click that, it takes you to my homepage. From there, go up where it says videos, click that. That opens up the entire library of videos. And one more thing, if I could remind you all, I've mentioned this a couple times before, and I don't think people have caught on, or maybe they don't like it, but YouTube does now allow for viewers to give a little tip monetarily to their favorite creators, their favorite videos. In the white space again below, you'll see like a little heart and it says thanks. So if you click on that, it opens up a little page where you have the option to throw a little tip into my YouTube tip jar. That's what I call it anyway. $2, $5, whatever you are comfortable with. And that would be a tremendous help because, yeah, the big channels, they make the big bucks. The little channels like Crazy Cool Crochet, not so much. So, you know, I put these out for free, and I've been putting them out weekly, new video tutorials, new designs, and I would love to continue to do that, and it would be so helpful if you guys could, you know, give a little thanks, a thumbs up, leave a comment. Most importantly, watch the video all the way through. That's a huge, huge thing in the YouTube world. That's how the creators, the video creators, are rewarded through YouTube, is with the amount of time that a viewer spends watching any particular video. So let the video run, that will be awesome, and then come back for the next project. Happy holidays!